Hello everybody and welcome to my bedroom floor. I am joining you today from my tummy time hustle right over here. So it is now 2024 and so it's now officially my 20th year in Lolita fashion. So I kind of want to talk about my Lolita origin story. I was 100% that kid. I was obsessed with ancient civilization. I definitely had an ancient Egypt phase. I also had an ancient Greek phase and an ancient Roman phase. And also there was my Oregon Trail phase, complete with a homemade covered wagon with sacks of like oats and jerky and sunflower seeds and anything that I could find in my house that was also the same thing as my shopping ingredients from the general store before I started my very important journey west. To be fair, I did grow up in the middle of nowhere, a very teeny tiny border town. We barely got TV, let alone internet or cell phone reception or anything like that. It's a lot better nowadays, but back then, you know, early 2000s, typical 90s kid, don't judge. Over the years, my interests developed, and in true form, I became obsessed with Baroque and Rococo era art, fashion, all that stuff. Of course, there was a definite, like, serious interest in Victorian fashion, lifestyle crafts. So one day when I was Googling a Victorian era fashion and DIY and stuff, you know, looking for things to print out from the public library to add to my library printout folder. You know the one. If you're a 90s kid, you probably had one too. Probably with a picture of Sesshomaru taped to it. So anyways, while I was Googling Victorian fashion, I came across a girl who was dressed in what I could only describe as a modern day interpretation of Victorian era clothing, which I guess, you know, looking back on it now is like, yeah, that's pretty much what Lolita is and what it's based off of. But I did not know what Lolita was. So I was like, hold on, people wear this kind of stuff in real life? And that kind of began my deep dive into the fashion. With Googling more, I eventually figured out what it was called. I discovered the EGL community on LiveJournal. I was smitten head over heels, instantly in love, and I dove in head first. But let me just say, things were not as easy to begin Lolita back in 2004 as it is now. So I went balls to the walls, like hardcore into this. A lot of stuff back then was limited to handmade and altered items and low-label items that you would buy at the regular store that could kind of sort of fit in with the fashion as long as you paired it with the right skirt and accessories and whatnot. Mostly low-label items would be simple like jewelry and accessories, blouses, socks and shoes, and then maybe you could buy or sew yourself a simple like jumper skirt or something like that to kind of pull the whole look together. So one of my earliest looks, which thankfully I don't have the photo evidence of, was my camo Lolita, or let's just call it Camo Lolita for short. Inspired by my own love for camo and all things goth, I made a rectangle headdress, and I wore this thing almost every single day to school, and I would pair it with a black tank top, camo mini skirt, my thigh-high fishnets, and my big stompy goth boots. That was my camo Lolita. In fact, one of my friends at the time asked me to make them one, and so I made them also a camo Lolita headdress, and I think I even put like little bells on each side. It was cute. Maybe I just have trash taste, I don't really care. It was cute. And yeah, so we both wore those quite often to school, almost every day. Of course, brands did some early releases. There was a couple of Jane Marple pieces. Metamorphosis, Angelic Pretty had that one collab with ITA, and then nothing else ever happened, and it has been 20 years at this point, and I'm tired of waiting for something else good to come out. I decided to make my own. I've always remembered my baby camo Lolita fondly. So in honor of my 20th year in the fashion, I did it myself, and I gave my baby camo Lolita the glow up that it deserves. I made a full set. I did a skirt, a headdress, a tie, a tote, everything. I wanted the ability not only to do a full camo cord, but have a bunch of extra pieces that I could wear camo like less in your face. I wanted the ability to like mix and match my camo items for a variety of looks. Maybe if we all collectively email Meta, they might think about giving us a new release. I know that in the past that they have responded to customer requests before. So yeah, maybe we can give that a shot. So I am very interested in hearing about what you think about camo. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Who's gonna help me flood Meta's email system with email requests for more camo? But yeah, so much has changed in the past 20 years since I first discovered Lolita. So if you want to know anything specific, let me know and maybe I can cover it in a future video. Until then, see you later!